So we doing? Did you think of any other topics?
No, I literally didn't even
It's okay.
think about it. I slept all day. Oh, I've actually been like, fuck man, exhausted mentally, physically. So I pretty much slept for 11 hours today, and then I got up and didn't do a damn thing. I sat here with a fucking headache.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it sucked. And then ran to the store, watched the thunderstorm for a bit. The lightning show was awesome. And then watched a movie and made some dinner.
What movie did you watch?
The Invitation.
How was that?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Is that all you can say?
You know, endings are hard.
Oh, it didn't end well.
I mean, it didn't end terribly, but yeah, it's whatever. It had its moments, and then it had its low moments.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, I saw a teaser for it a few months back and really wanted to watch it, so I figured I would do that. And, I mean, I wasn't disappointed with it entirely. I like Natalie Emmanuel. I think she's a wonderful actress. I think she did great in the role. I think the story was good-ish.
Goodish.
Yeah, you know. There was one thing like that I thought was it's weird because it hit me so late into the movie, and I'm guessing it was supposed to be a big twist, and I got it 20 minutes before they end up revealing it. But I didn't like it.
You didn't like the big twist?
No. I didn't. Like the big reveal I didn't really care for. But
was it about Dracula?
Yes. Yes, it was. Like, okay, so the movie.
You want to talk about it in the podcast?
Oh, we're already recording, so I could totally put this in there.
Oh, you're recording already? You didn't even tell me. I wasn't ready.
I'm always recording. You never know when some gems are gonna pop out. And besides, it's nice to just have that natural feel to it. Also, what's up? Welcome to Loonsville. We're fucking up. All right, so you get introduced to the main character portrayed by Natalie Emmanuel, and then she gets invited to meet her long lost relatives in the UK. You know, that shit was all set up by the trailer, and I knew it was going to be a vampire movie. I mean, that's also shown in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I was in. I love vampire movies, all of them. Well, I shouldn't say I love all of them. I like the idea of them. I will check them out. They are not all great. They are not all gems, but I'll give them a chance. Like Blade 3, for instance. The fuck was that movie? Shout out to Ryan Reynolds and his dialogue in that movie, though, because calling somebody a cock-juggling thunder cunt has never left my vocabulary since that movie. No, so anyway, right there, you also get introduced to two other female leads very late in the movie, and they start talking about at a dinner when he announces that the main character is his bride-to-be, that his other two wives are the two female leads that you just met a little bit prior to that, and how having three wives is the key and all of this shit. And I was like, hey, that's like Dracula. You know, that was my first fucking thought. I giggled to myself, and I was like, that's just like Dracula, kind of like that, you know, likeness to the OG Bram Stoker's Dracula, you know, Lucy, Mina, and I never remember the third one's name. But anyway,
like the nod. You didn't like it being the...
I did like the nod. And then, like, fucking 3 scenes later, they revealed that this dude is supposed to be Dracula. And I was like, fuck you. I instantly hated that.
I actually haven't read anything about it. I saw the trailer. But when anyone goes, big twist in a vampire story, I automatically go, they're putting Dracula in it.
Yeah, I mean, the movie is definitely worth checking out. Don't let the fact that he is supposed to be Dracula dissuade you from checking it out.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, hard spoiler. The movie is now streaming on Paramount Plus and Vudu or some shit. Who cares? You've already seen the movie via my words. You're welcome. No, it was worth watching. I watched House of Darkness the other day as well, which is another nod to Bram Stoker. Dracula is not in it. Spoiler alert. That is the new Justin Long vampire movie.
Is he the vampire?
He is not. He is just a man.
Oh,
The movie was it's good. It's kind of like a phone booth situation where it takes place in one location.
does he have a
Uh,
mustache?
I don't think he did. I don't remember, but no, I don't believe he does. He kind of almost you almost get the feel that he is Keanu Reeves' character from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, that's not good.
No,
Oh,
in an okay way.
oh, Jonathan Harker.
Yes, the other John that he played. Speaking of Keanu Reeves and playing Johns, did you hear that he is coming back as John Constantine?
I did actually, and I like the first one. It's not anything really like the comic books, but it worked.
It's definitely not like the comics, and I'm
Got
not
his
mad
chain
at it.
smoking down now.
I kind of hope that they have who was it? Viggo Mortensen?
No.
That,
Oh,
that
who played
they had
Lucifer?
yeah.
No, that was
I can't remember who they had as Lucifer in the movie.
it was he was in Prison Break.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember his name. Oh.
Yeah, why did I say Viggo Mortensen? Why the fuck is he on my mind? It's definitely not Viggo Mortensen. I can actually picture his face right now, and I don't know why I said that. They don't even look alike.
No. What? Peter Stormare?
Yes, yes, it was Peter Stormare.
Yeah, he's great.
Absolutely. I would love to see him either return as Lucifer or just as a fanboy if they were to bring. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? Tom.
Tom Ellis.
Yeah, Tom Ellis from the TV show in. That would be great. I
Oh,
felt like they did Lucifer a disjustice in the TV series. I love the show. Like I'm a huge advocate for the show. Absolutely loved it. But Lucifer as like the DC character, since that's what it's based on, I don't know. Like he's the most powerful character in all of DC universe, and you would not know that by the TV show. Like
no.
he can raise the dead, he can shapeshift, he can fucking do all of this shit. He has absolutely control over everything. And in the TV show, he has control over nothing.
Well, I think even in the comics, because the Lucifer comics are a spin-off of the Sandman series, where he just kind of gets tired of the shit. And that's what the series is that period of time. So,
Yeah.
which I like it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to see him be the Lucifer in the Sandman series because it was totally different. And I think
Yes. I'm not
the
upset with who they cast as
oh
Lucifer.
no, she did good. She did good. But brought up that because we started talking about Constantine. What'd you think about the Joanna Constantine thing?
I did not mind that. I hope I mean it's a bit role in the show. I don't know why they made that switch. Um
For
I
funsies.
Yeah, I guess, right? I would like to see them, I don't know, kind of dive deeper into that in the second series. I know Lucifer is going to play a bigger part in season 2, and I don't know if, they'll bring Joanna Constantine back, but
Well, they're talking about her getting her own spin-off series.
I don't know if I'd be for that.
I don't know. I think I would. The only thing that worried about the Joanna thing was who they picked to play her because that she played my least favorite companion on Doctor Who. And I was like,
I think she did a good job as Joanna.
yes, I did too. I was pleasantly surprised.
I would like to see more fleshing out of the character and the reasoning behind that choice to go with a female Constantine. Like
Yeah,
if John doesn't exist or never existed, that's cool. I mean, I'm a lover of the Elementary TV series where they made John Watson a Joan Watson,
yeah.
and I thought it worked great for the narrative. And I also thought, I mean, I love Lucy Liu. I thought she killed it, and it really worked for the story as well as just her character.
If they stick with the Joanna thing, I want a Sandman. I'm the Swamp Thing series with Joanna because I mean that's where John Constantine started was Saga the Swamp Thing with Alan Moore's run. So it'd be cool to have a Swamp Thing series with the Joanna Constantine and kind of
Just had to bring that up, didn't you? Such a fucking sore spot. Swamp
Something's
Thing was so great. It was very well done in terms of visual
everything.
effects, both digital and practical. It was very well written, amazing cast. The direction was great. The locations were awesome. Yeah, it was just 100%. And like they fuck the paperwork up and
Yeah,
lose out on a big tax write-off, and at that point you're just like, well, I don't care how well the show did or how many fucking millions of people are like, we want it back, we're just not gonna do it.
right.
Let's
But
do
they could
Batgirl. Oh,
actually that Becker will probably have been pretty good too. But
Batgirl would have been amazing.
the thing with Swamp Thing is they could bring it back, well, not the same show. Do what they're doing with Daredevil. Bring it back for Netflix and have a companion piece for the Sandman series, because there's a lot of times that things intertwine anyway within like the Vertigo
You know they're
sphere.
not bringing Daredevil back to Netflix, right?
No, it's going to be on
You just
Disney
said that.
Plus.
Yeah, you just said that because Daredevil came to Netflix.
No, it's on Disney Plus.
No, it
The
will
Swamp
be.
Thing, the Swamp Thing could be put on Netflix
Oh, I get what you're saying.
next
Okay.
to like the
Yes.
Sandman series and have the Joanna Constantine be the Constantine within the Sandman and the Swamp Thing series, and do it like they're doing with Daredevil. Like that's going to be a complete reboot. It's not following the story the Netflix series put out. It's going to be its own thing. Just reboot Swamp Thing. Don't do the Alec Holland beginning. Talk about it and just have him be Swamp Thing, and have Joanna Constantine be like the bridge between the two series where she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that the Disney Plus Daredevil series is keeping the Netflix series canon.
No, they said it's its own thing. It's rebooting. It might be a
You
soft reboot, but
yeah, I don't I don't I don't think they'll totally reboot it. I don't think it will continue from the events, but at the same time, I think those events will have still transpired.
they might have. Yeah. Oh, because they're just a part of the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, before I don't know if they ever, announced anything with removing those from canon, but before the shows all got terminated, they were part of the MCU canon.
Yeah. Well, one of the interviews I read, they're asking if it was gonna be continuation of the Netflix series or a reboot, and the actor was like, "No, it's its own
Charlie
thing."
Cox,
Yeah.
I love him as Daredevil. He did such an amazing fucking job in that. I mean, I give him and his stunt double a ton of credit because they killed it.
When if they only if they change everything and just keep him as Daredevil and have Vincent D'Onofrio come back, it'd still be a
Yeah,
good show.
yeah. Well, I mean, Vincent is still Kingpin in the MCU. He's made an appearance in two of their canon shows now. Charlie
Oh,
Cox
cool.
made an appearance in Spider-Man as Daredevil, so both characters are canonically in the official cinematic universe of
Yeah.
Marvel.
And if everything else goes, I guess I'll be okay with that. As long as they keep them.
I'd like to see him bring them all in. I mean, I liked Jessica Jones. I liked John Bernthal's Punisher. Season one was extremely well done. Season two
Yeah.
had its shortcomings, but was still great, especially on John Bernthal's part. I don't know if he'd be willing to come back for it. He said it caused him a lot of family issues, but
I mean, story wise, you could drop all the stuff that was already laid out in the Netflix series and just have the same actors come in.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'd
I'd
like
be
to
all
see
right
them
with that.
bring them back for their roles. Same thing with I always said if they were to do Oliver Queen, I almost said Oliver Quinn. Oliver Queen and Green Arrow in the DCU, I would not accept any other actor portraying that character aside from Stephen Amell because he did such a perfect job with the character in the TV series.
Oh, they're
Yes,
probably gonna come back.
it was CW, so it's written like CW material.
Oh yeah, and but they're probably gonna change actors on that.
Oh, guaranteed. I don't think Stephen Amell would come back for it. It's been too long now. I mean, he did the role for what, like 9 years. He's probably done. and I don't blame him for it at all. I mean, it'd be cool to still see him, you know, make an appearance as Green Arrow. I don't know, when they do one of their Flashpoint things. I don't even
Hmm.
know if that's gonna happen. With the whole Ezra Miller bullshit.
Right? That shit's ridiculous.
I know they just DC just I don't know. They need to just give up and hand it over to Zack Snyder and just let him fucking do his thing.
Well, they did.
Well, they didn't, but they
They're
they
going to.
made a concession to the fans because they knew how much money it was going to make them. That's about it. There was a
See what
petition with millions of signatures.
Zack Snyder is the director we think we want until we get it.
I
That's the
disagree. I love everything Zack Snyder
Oh, I like
does.
his stuff, but if you look at all the complaints, basically, when we're going, what I want in a comic book movie is I want it to look like a comic book movie, which Zack Snyder does. Characters are usually shallow, well, because I mean, most comic book characters were, and you want the
Yeah.
freeze frames that look exactly like a panel. These are things that almost everybody wants in their comic book movies. Yet and then when we get it, we're like, fuck that.
It's a disconnect between imagination and reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can visualize what you think it would look like until you see it on a screen. And then you're like, "Well, that's not at all what I meant." It's like, "Well, go fuck
That's
yourself."
exactly what you were asking
it's
for. He's the director.
it's what you wanted. And I loved it. I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League. I loved the
Oh
more
yeah, that's
fleshed
good.
out detail of the
I
story.
like the director's
And
cut of BVS. It's a lot better
yeah,
than the
I
theatrical cut.
liked his Superman Returns movie. I loved BVS. I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League. I love all of his movies well before he got into comic book
Yeah, I
movies.
liked his Owl movie. Well, what do you mean before he got into? He did the remake of Dawn of the Dead and then 300. 300's a comic book movie.
Yeah, and Dawn of the Dead is not.
No, it's not. But you said way before he got into comic book movies too. It's like Dawn of the
Well,
Dead.
yeah, but I mean, look at Dawn of the Dead. When did that come out? Like
2000.
the remake was really, I was gonna say
Let me
fucking
look it
like
up.
2000.
It was 2000 and something. Let me look.
Okay, it was 2004. All right,
I was
so
close.
yeah, I was
I was
not.
gonna say 4, but I was like,
All right, so I guess before he did comic book movies, because it was only 2 years prior. I thought there was a much larger time gap between those two films, but I was very wrong.
no. But I mean, it's still okay. It was a good movie.
Yeah, they both are.
300 was great, and it looked like the comic book. And then people were like, he'd be great for other comic book movies. And then I'm not saying they were wrong, but
They're not wrong. They're just idiots about what they
once they got what they thought they wanted, they were like, fuck Zack Snyder.
wanted. Yeah.
I honestly
We know what we want. Leave us alone.
yeah. Actually,
That's not it. Do it again.
I should have looked up Zack Snyder first before I was like, oh, before he was doing comic book movies. You mean when he was doing ZZ Top World of Spiral? Or the
Oh
Lizzie
man.
Borden Love is a Crime music video. That's when you like Zack Snyder.
Yeah, all of them. You know what? Just to be fair and point out the shortcomings of somebody I find to be
He's great.
fantastic writer, director, all of the above. I did not care for Sucker Punch.
I liked it. I liked the Owl movie.
Owl.
Yeah, the Owl's a guy.
Is this real?
What do you mean? Is this real? You never seen the Owl movie?
Well, A, no, and B, not what I'm talking
What's
about.
real? You haven't seen the Owl movie? The Owl movie's pretty good.
I have not seen the Owl movie. I don't know what you're talking about, but in the list of Zack Snyder's movies, Justice League Part 2 is listed. That
Yeah.
is new because that was not there the last time I looked at his filmography. So I wonder if they're going to give it. I wanted to see how many movies since he did 300 were comic book movies.
Most of them.
And almost all of them.
Yeah, that's why I was questioning what you meant.
It's like he did Dawn of the Dead, and people were like, wow, this guy's got a great eye. And then they were like, how do you feel about comic books?
He's like, I love him.
And he was like, I am in, sir. I will never do anything else.
Well, he's supposed to direct an adaptation of The Fountainhead. That's not a comic book, but this IMDb thing says the project canceled certainly.
Yeah, well, right now he's been working on a movie called Rebel Moon.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen some BTS shots. There's a new photography app out there, kind of like what Instagram should have been and would have been had they not decided to try and be Facebook, their parent company, or TikTok, called Vero, Vero. And there's some good creators on there, good photographers, directors, and stuff. And one of the few people I follow on the platform is Zack Snyder. And he has been putting up photographs of locations and some other behind the scenes things for Rebel Moon, which he has brought Ray Fisher in on, which is great. He was very upset over the whole situation with Ray Fisher and DC and Warner Brothers
And Joss Whedon.
Yeah, and he 100% backed Ray Fisher on all of that. So it's awesome that he gave him part in his new movie. But also, he's got Junkie XL doing the soundtrack for it. I think he had Junkie XL do the soundtrack for the last two movies he did as well, if not.
The Army of the Dead.
Yeah, I don't know if he did Army of Thieves.
What do you mean Army of Thieves?
Army of Thieves. You didn't see that one? It's the sequel to it's a prequel sequel to Army of the Dead.
No, I didn't see that one. I saw Army of the Dead, and I see that a sequel has been announced called Planet of the Dead.
Yes, it's a trilogy. It's actually a quadrilogy. I think there's an animated part as well. But for live action, yes, it is a trilogy. The first movie made was Army of the Dead. The sequel that is a prequel came out shortly thereafter called Army of Thieves, about
Guessing that's not directed by
Ludwig
Snyder because that's not in his filmography.
No, I do not believe it was directed by Zack Snyder. I think it's directed by the actor who plays Ludwig in Army of the Dead, the thief.
Oh, cool.
I
guess
can't remember his nationality.
Army of the Dead Lost Vegas is a TV series in post-production.
Oh, that might be the one that I was thinking was going to be animated. Zack Snyder and his wife Deborah did produce the sequel. They didn't. I don't think they wrote it. It exists. It's there. It also Army of the Dead stars Natalie Emmanuel, character.
You said Army of Thieves.
Vampire movie.
No,
Yes, Army of Thieves.
Set before the Army of Dead, which focus on the German safecracker.
Yeah, the German safecracker. That's Ludwig Dieter. The actor that plays him is the director.
Cool. I have not seen that one. I shall. They should bring Swamp Thing back.
Wait.
Swamp Thing needs like 3 or 4 different series. And Man Thing should get its own series too on Disney Plus. That's my opinion on it.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Zack Snyder stuff. Apparently there's a movie called Gotham City Sirens that's supposed to come out, directed by David Ayer, produced by Zack Snyder and David Ayer. I don't know. It's supposed to star Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Jared Leto was going to make an appearance as the Joker. It might have been canceled. Don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. DC is fucking up hardcore. Congratulations on hiring a piece of shit to run your company.
Well, then there's supposed to be a Deadshot movie.
Yeah, that I'm pretty sure did get canceled. That was supposed to bring Will Smith back as Deadshot.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm sure a lot of this stuff, if it's DC, it's been...
Yeah, it's been DC'd.
Yeah, it's been DC. It's been disconnected. Which sucks is because I do prefer DC over Marvel. And they're not doing very well on their movie
Yeah,
front.
as a lifelong Joker fanboy since 1989. So, I mean, okay, not my entire life, but my entire
Your
since
entire
Jack Nicholson played the Joker.
the entire time you were able to think about it and have favorite things.
Well, I remember watching the Cesar Romero Joker in the Adam West, Burt Ward,
Yeah, he was great.
Batman movie, but I wasn't nearly as obsessed with the character then. And then Jack Nicholson came on the scene as the Joker, and I was like, you know what? There's some to this guy. And yeah, from there on out, Batman comics, Joker based novel. And then Mark Hamill, 1991,
Yeah.
came on as the voice of the Joker in the animated series, and I never missed an episode of that. And I have every single thing that has anything to do with the Joker since.
What'd you think about Jared Leto's Joker?
Was
that a hard one?
It is. I mean, just to be 100% objective, I did not like it, for various reasons.
I think the acting was...
I didn't like the design.
Yeah, the look was bad. I mean, a lot of it could work. Like the teeth could work because Batman could have kicked his teeth in.
No, actually, the teeth could have worked because Batgirl actually captures the Joker in a story.
Yeah, that too.
In canonic lore, after the Joker shoots Barbara Gordon and she becomes paralyzed and becomes the Oracle, later down the line, she captures the Joker and she pulls all of his teeth out so he can't smile. And
hold on, are you talking about canonical lore in the comics or canonical lore in the DCU movie verse?
No, in the comics.
Well, yeah, we have to go with movie verse, and they already said Jason Todd has been killed. I don't think there's been a Batgirl. When they introduced all the characters like Harley Quinn, she got arrested for the death of Jason Todd and shit.
Yeah, this is true, and he's got the bat suit in the Batcave that shows that Joker killed Jason Todd. I mean, we all know, and we assume, but we know it's Jason Todd. He's the only Robin murdered. That's a hard one too, because he was murdered, but he's brought back to life, and then he becomes the Red Hood.
But I have read the story you were talking about with Barbara Gordon and shit. It's a good one.
It is, and I was not mad at the platinum teeth thing. People were like, you can't give Joker a grill. That's so dumb. And I was like, well, I mean, you say that, but
yeah,
here's source material that shows that he had his teeth ripped out of his face and he replaced them.
Plus, Batman probably would have kicked his teeth in during the death of Jason Todd.
Yeah, I mean, there's several ways that could have gone down.
Dude gets hit in the face a lot.
He does.
He also cuts it off once.
Yeah.
So
that's also an interesting story right there.
So it works. My issue with this look was the fucking damage tattoo.
Yeah.
The J teardrop.
All of the tattoos for me. You know what? See, now that's another thing that I was kind of wondering about. Well, before the movie came out, just to specify, the J on his face, because the whole Jason Todd thing, Jason is brainwashed to be the little Joker in one story.
Yeah.
And Joker brands his face with a J. So when they showed that, I was kind of thinking maybe it's not actually the Joker. But then it wasn't. Yeah. And I was like, well, fucking ruined it.
Joker likes to brainwash kids. I mean, he did it to Jason Todd. He also did it to, who was the kid? Which Robert? Was that Jason Todd in the Batman Begins? I mean, Batman Beyond movie? Who was that? He did it to another one.
Ooh, not Jason Todd.
No. Was it Tim Drake?
Maybe. I want to say yes. I haven't seen Batman Beyond in so long, and that was such a great fucking series too.
Right.
Like, that's one of the things I'm most disappointed about in terms of like the Flash movie and the Batgirl movie getting shut down, because, and I love bringing this up, back, I don't know, 5 to 10 years ago, I took to the wonderful slander platform that is Twitter, and I said the single greatest thing DC could do with the Batman property is give us a live action Batman Beyond movie where Michael Keaton comes back as old Bruce Wayne, and we get to see Terry McGinnis and, future Gotham and stuff. And they started bringing Michael Keaton back as Batman and as Bruce Wayne in all of these movies, and they just keep canceling them. I mean, the Ezra Miller one, I kind of get. I hope they don't cancel it. I wish people would stop looking at it as supporting an actor or somebody that is committing crimes and causing harm. If anything, the studio could just revoke his salary for the movie and pay it out to victims of his abuse and shit
Right.
or anything else. The movie is an art. There are thousands of people that work on it. Not distributing it because of one person's actions is punishing every single person that put their heart and soul into that production.
Right.
And I think that is not the fucking move. That is not how you should go about that.
I mean, I'm sure they already filmed some of it. You could have something happen.
They filmed the whole movie. It was supposed to come out. The movie's been done.
It's been
I think
delayed,
they
like,
finished it
over
in
and over again.
2021. Yeah, mostly because Ezra Miller keeps punching people in their faces in bars.
I mean, Russell Crowe does that all the time. You don't see anyone not distributing his movies.
No, you just see him fighting Mel Gibson for who plays Fat Santa.
Right?
Did you ever see that?
I think so.
Fat Santa?
The
Mel Gibson Santa movie. I can't remember the name of it.
I think it's called Fat Santa.
It's called Fat Man.
Yes.
Dude, that movie was good. It was brutal and it was great.
It was good. But to think the reason why The Flash isn't coming out is because of this guy, and then no one stops any Mel Gibson or Russell Crowe movies.
Well, I mean, Mel Gibson, they shut him down fine.
Well, no, he was still doing stuff. He was just doing his own stuff.
I mean, this is true. It's hard to shut somebody down when they can produce, write, direct, and film their own shit. But as far as major studios go, he wasn't really getting much work for a while on account of, time he anti-Semitically mouthed off to a cop.
That's plural.
Uh,
Well, Russell Crowe's still working. He likes to punch people too. So I want to agree with it though. Like, you have the writers that spent all that time writing. You have the director that spent all that time. You have all the other cast, lighting.
Yeah, not to mention the fucking visual effects people, the hundreds of people that are in the movie, thousands of people that are behind the scenes doing all the shit you just named, writing, directing, principal photography, director of photography, fucking cast that builds all the sets, everything.
Plus, they're not putting it out, and then they're also not putting out the other stuff because that's also a part of it. You know how much stuff has been delayed because the Flash movie, because I guess it's supposed to be before another movie, and everything gets delayed, so it's fucking up other stuff.
Yeah. You know what would be really cool to me?
They're making the bad Flash the entire time. Dun, 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 dun.
No.
And then they bring in everyone from the show.
If they just fucking kill him off at the end of the movie and have Grant Gustin take over from the TV series, I would be absolutely okay with it.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I said,
my bad. Because I mean, I know that Grant Gustin, they had Ezra Miller make an appearance in the Flash TV series when they did a similar thing with it. And I know Grant Gustin is making an appearance in this movie. I don't know if he's making an appearance as Flash or as Barry Allen from another
universe
timeline or anything, but I do know he is in the movie.
Yeah, so they can make the Ezra Miller Flash end up being the bad guy. You don't have to show it because the movie's already done. And then have Grant Gustin come in. But you could kill him off like in some stupid fucking way, like running into a wall too hard.
You just totally punk the shit out of him. Like a fucking old school Looney Tunes shit where there's a tunnel painted on a wall and he just runs into it, max speed, and explodes.
Yeah. And then
that would be fantastic.
And then, but you end up finding out later, like in the sequel, that he was the bad Flash the entire time, and the show Flash was the good Flash, and he's the one that painted the wall.
No, it would be even better if they just showed Grant Gustin walking by whistling with the fucking paint on his hands or a paintbrush in his hand.
Or you just see like a blur. You see a wall and like something really go fast by it, and then there's like a road, and then you have the scene where Ezra Miller's like running and the lightning is going past him and he goes
just splats. Oh man. Yeah, I would not be mad at it.
Yeah, see, there's ways to fix it.
There's so many people cast in the movie. I mean, having both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck in it as Batman.
Right.
Grant Gustin makes an appearance. They have Michael Shannon coming back as General Zod from the Superman movie. I want to know what that's about. I have so many questions about the story and stuff. Flashpoint is one of my favorite Flash stories.
Is it like Earth 2 Zod?
I don't know because I don't know. I know that there's some time travel in the Flash movie, and I know General Zod died in the Superman movie, but since there's time travel, he could still be the same General Zod.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I have so many questions. I want these answers, damn it. Fuck you, Ezra Miller. Burglary, assault, grooming little kids. I don't need to hear all this shit. I just want the movie.
right,
Put this dude in jail already and give me the Flash.
right. Just kill him off in a stupid fucking like a cartoony way. Just
Yeah, I love that idea of just having him explode on a wall with a fake tunnel. That is exactly how I'd love to see them end him. Just have Grant Gustin fucking flash paint a fake tunnel on a
oh,
wall.
not Greg Guns.
And
All right, so the Flash wouldn't do it. Let's not turn the good Flash into a murderer now. I got a better idea. It was Batmite.
oh my
Well, think
god.
about it. Who would name a character that would use cartoon logic?
I mean, I could name a few, but Batmite would be pretty funny.
Yeah,
It would also introduce Batmite into the DCU, which would be awesome.
exactly.
I mean, that's a win-win right there.
Or Mxyzptlk, which I don't think he would use so much cartoon logic and gags, but he might. But I think Batmite would have been like the perfect choice. That he just flies down and he's painting, and he's all like artistic, and you don't know what he's doing, and then it's like this like landscape with a tunnel, and the Flash goes.
Yes, fantastic.
Why did Batman do it? I don't know. Maybe it was something about getting Batman's attention or something, but we'll work that out
He was
later.
brainwashed by the Joker. Lex Luthor got to him.
He got struck by one of the lightning bolts off of Ezra Miller's body. And now he could do like
Oh,
really
man.
big like math equations, and he's a maniac.
Absolutely.
And only Batman could kind of talk him down because he's such a big Batman fan. And it'd be the Ben Affleck Batman having to deal with Batmite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So DC, if you're listening, we will write your fucking movies for you. You hear that? That's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Fuck DC, Netflix. I mean, anybody that ever comes across any of this, yeah, I'll write anything you want. Put me in a writer's room with somebody. Fucking gold, guaranteed.
All right.
I'm not gonna win any Oscars, but you'll get views.
Yeah, and some laughs, and just have a good time.
I mean, you never know. Maybe I could bring somebody Oscar glory.
I don't know. I think I could write an Oscar movie, and it'd be about Batman and his art and his artistic goals.
Oh man.
Maybe Batman gets
All
kicked
right.
out of art school or something. Do 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 do.